is time for an update in Madrid. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi following along as the fourth down here for the Commanders in a gotta-have-it spot. We will see if they are able to punch this thing in after what better be a timeout from the sideline because that play clock was getting way down. So, Lisi, they go to Jacory Krosky-Merritt. He looks excellent on this drive. McNichols gets him down to the 1, and then they feel bad for you, so they tap the helmet. Rodriguez, 3rd and goal at the 1.
Smashed.
Nothing. Looks terrible. What do you think the play call is here on 4th and 1?
Rodriguez right up the gut.
Yeah, he's terrible.
They didn't block.
I wouldn't have him out there personally. Now, I don't want to spoil this for you, so I'm going to watch it, okay? We can't do any play-by-play, but you're going to watch it too. We're a tick off from one another, and we're going to hope that they score, certainly.
Yeah.
What do you think the play call actually is?
It's probably fake dive Mariota on the edge.
Oh, a little end-around situation.
No, not an end-around, like an RPO, like.
Oh, maybe pop pass?
No, like fake it and then go to the edge.
So a little read option, potentially.
Yeah, read option. Or give it to Rodriguez, man. Come on.
All right, let's see if Lisi likes what he sees out of this Washington offense on this play.
No. What was that?
It's one of the worst plays I've ever seen.
Like seriously.
It's one of the worst plays. I mean, Zach Ertz falls. I don't even know if he would have caught it. Mariota is just 1-2 fire away. What is that? What is that?
See?
We're holding plus 2.5.
What was that?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's on you.
Me?
Yeah. You and this Rodriguez.
They should have given the first 2 carries to Rodriguez. Okay? The guy has 79 yards.
He's clearly washed. He's falling apart. Do you think they still use him if they get back out there?
Yeah.
79 live. It's an 82.5 number.
Well, now you see. Now this is what they should ask in the pregame, postgame. Kingsbury, why wasn't Rodriguez on the goal line?
I was gonna say because he's not that good. They put him in on the goal line. He didn't do anything.
Not the first 2 carries.
Yeah, those carries went well.
Yeah, Krosky-Merritt.
Yeah, ball was at the 5. Merritt picked up 1. Then McNichols picked up 3, and then Rodriguez picked up 0. So who's the odd man out?
It's Rodriguez.
What do you think about his live 82.5? That doesn't look too bad, actually.
82.5. He's not going to get 3 yards.
Oh, 3's not enough. You need 4.
No, you know what I mean. What I'm saying, it's just he's not going to get another carry based off this game script.
Well, let me ask you this.
None.
Dolphins are at the 1.
They'll blow it.
What do you think that they pick up a first down?
No, I think they blow it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Punt minus 130.
What's a turnover?
3-1.
There you go.
3-1 for a turnover.
2 will get sacked or will fumble or something's going to happen. Watch. Something.
2 is passing yards prop. He's at 149. It's 202.5. I actually don't like that really. This game isn't really set up for him to throw for another 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're at the 1, but they're going to come out here. Like, I'm probably too late to – I'll see if I can find this quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's minus 300 for the first play, basically, to be a run.
They're not – I mean –
minus 295. First play here from Miami will be a run.
Where was he throwing the football?
Look, it was a straight, immediately throw the ball to Zach Ertz play, and Zach Ertz slipped.
Yeah, but it wasn't even close.
Well, yeah, because Zach Ertz was, like, on the floor. Like, it wasn't a bad...
They should have ran it.
Listen, I didn't love the play call. I don't love when you get into these, like, 1-yard situations and the whole play is just for a person and there's no second read potentially at all.
Right.
Like, I think that's always a bit of a problem here. Well, I tell you what, they've set themselves up quite nicely, Miami, on that first run by Ollie Gordon. Out of a cannon.
That's it. Miami.
Absolutely out of a cannon.
Unbelievable.
That's going to flip the Dolphins to live favorites at minus 162. They actually were pick, if not a slight dog, due to that field positioning there. As somebody holding, now are you on Commanders at just 2.5, 3? Yeah,
no, 2.5.
I know, but now
field
goal would be. There's no way the Dolphins score a touchdown in my eyes. I just don't
you
see
don't
them
know.
playing for it.
It was a great run. They got a kick-out block. Left side blew off Bobby Wagner and the Commanders' defense. I mean, Ollie Gordon, he gets stronger as the game goes on, and they're starting to open up holes. But right now, Tua in the passing attack have been way inconsistent. I mean, they're going sideline to sideline with Achane.
I think they're worried about him making a mistake. I think that's one of the things that stood out to me. It's part of the reason even though I know I was chewing your ear off about the Tua prop at the halftime, I didn't play it. Or any of his numbers really, pre-game. I think last week it wasn't a lot of Tua, and I think Mike McDaniel's very happy with that. We talk about what's coming for this Dolphins team. How could we not, right? McDaniel was supposed to be the first coach fired heading into this season, and there were a lot of moments where it looked like that was going to be the case. Yet he's still sticking around, and I tend to believe he has a chance to stick around as far as even next year, but I don't think McDaniel and Tua can stick around. I don't think it could be both guys. And I think that's, the lack of trust in Tua is starting to reap into even more and more of the play calls that we're seeing here from Mike McDaniel in these games.
Mike McDaniel, again, at some point, whether it's Tua or whoever your franchise guy is, you got to dial up and get the football to your playmakers. And again, Jalen Waddle can't have one catch over the course of a half.
Right.
I mean, he just targeted him now. It was a slant. He dropped it. But, I mean, we go back to what is the offensive identity, right? It's 3rd and 13 now. Is it Achane? Is it Waddle? Is it Tyreek Hill when he was in that offense? That has been the problem with this team. And again, that's why they don't win big games.
Right.
He doesn't have an offensive identity. At times he wants to run the football. At times he wants to put it into his hands. At times he wants to get the football to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but it's never on a consistent basis. They never devise game plans to get these playmakers out in space, create one-on-one matchups, and exploit an opposing defense. And to me, that is why he's not a good head coach.
Yeah, I listen, we will, oh my gosh, get on the ball.
What happened? What happened? What?
Washington fumbled the punt.
Did they get on it?
I don't know. Every Miami player says they have. Yeah, they have Miami.
All right. So they lucked out.
Come on, man.
There you go.
You've been the better team all game.
Here we go. Yeah, look at the Dolphin fans up in arms. Yeah.
You've been the better team all
right, well, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over.
Yeah, but you're handing them a field goal now.
Sangristi? Is he Italian? Well, what's his name? Sangristi?
Was it Sandstrill?
I can't see. I don't know.
Oh, come on. That's not good, Lise.
Obviously not. Got to hold him to a field goal, but we'll see.
Dolphins go to minus 280.
Yeah, well, they expect it. I mean, they're on the 40.
That's brutal.
You want to take a shot on Mariota leading them back?
No, not really.
Okay, well, then what are we doing?
I almost want to take Tua under his yards now, hilariously.
What is it?
174.5. He's at 149. I don't really see him throwing for 26. I think they're just going to run it here, take their field goal, and hope the defense holds. That's my guess. They're giving you plus money for Rodriguez to have one more rush yard. It's incredible.
They buried this guy. They buried him. I mean, for whatever it is, they buried him. I don't know.
I know.
He's obviously not hurt. He wasn't hurt in any capacity. He had 79 yards, basically, at the end of the third quarter.
How do you fumble the ball, man?
All right, well, there's nothing we could do about it now.
All right, so I'll pick myself up then.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean.
What do you mean, pick you up? What do you need?
I mean, that's not great, which is.
No, but we're up against it, obviously.
All right, well, it's hard. Rodriguez was going to get a lot of work if they would have handled the punt.
Mm-hmm.
You don't seem to care.
Again, I still think the Commanders could pull it out.
Hasn't lost faith. We've got NFL Insider Adam Kaplan joining us next.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous And it made me fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
Oh, is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous Pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, we are live with you here on a Sunday. We are finishing things up out in Spain. We will keep you updated there, but we want to update you across the National Football League. We'll do that with the help of NFL insider Adam Kaplan. And Cap, you're connected across the league, but especially in Philadelphia, and the Eagles continue to be a topic of conversation as A.J. Brown, this time, I think, more direct in his frustrations this week with the offense as a whole. What are you still continuing to hear around this situation? Or what can you gauge maybe, are the issues right now for Philadelphia?
All right, Kevin. So let's go back to what we talked about on Friday. You and I got into a healthy discussion about Jalen Hurts. We know that his passer rating is the best of his career, so is the completion percentage. But I told you the game tape tells you that he's really not playing that well. What it is, and there was an athletic report today that stated that players behind the scenes have complained about Hurts' unwillingness to throw through tight windows against zone coverage. I told you Friday, Kevin, that Jalen Hurts takes the path of least resistance. He holds on to the ball. He doesn't like making those tighter throws, though he loves making deeper throws, which it's interesting. Over 20 yards, he's one of the best in the National Football League. But inside the numbers, he just doesn't like throwing it there. And that's why A.J. Brown's numbers are not only down, the crossing routes, which he was phenomenal at with the Titans, okay? They're not really running them. They're not doing them. And Hurts, when they're called, he doesn't throw it. So that's the confounding issue with this situation, where you look at his numbers in terms of completion percentage and passer rating and go, oh, okay, that's really good. But the game tape, the All-22 tells you differently. He's really not playing that well. He's not taking the throws that are there. And he takes a check down or maybe the fourth option just to get rid of the football when he holds on to it too long. The ball should be out earlier. So you mentioned A.J. Brown. Part of why he complained with the Minnesota game is he got the ball too much to save one or two throws off structure when the ball's supposed to be in his hands earlier. And it frustrates him that he's not getting the ball. Pass target numbers are down. Average per game lowest since his rookie season. So, Kevin, to answer your question, there's a lot brewing here. Typically we wouldn't talk about this if the Eagles were a middling team. We would concentrate on the rest of the league. But this issue with A.J. Brown in the passing game is not going away.
I think, though, Cap, and maybe we'll agree to disagree on this, A.J. Brown is the biggest reason it doesn't go away. We can never focus on anything else because their star wide receiver won't stop screaming about how awful everything is all the time. Even when things are going well, he's like, see, it could always go well if you used me more and more and more. even if, and to me it sounds like you feel as if we're doing a percentage of the blame, most of it would fall at Jalen. Everything is made worse by what A.J. Brown is doing. Is that felt in Philadelphia?
Well, no, here's the reality. Hurts is obviously a big part of it. He's the quarterback. The other part of it is the new offense coordinator, Kevin Patullo. When you have your star receiver, and I know Devontae Smith is having a phenomenal season. He's having a Pro Bowl type season. But when you have A.J. Brown who's making just under $30 million, $29.75 million, he has to be the focal point of your passing game. When you throw it, like we know the Eagles are a run-first team. That's not going to change. It goes through Saquon Barkley because of what he did last year, plus of what he's getting paid. But when they throw the football, it's got to go through A.J. Brown, and that's where Kevin Patullo's got to do a better job, their offensive coordinator. It's not just Hurts. I'm not saying it's just Hurts. It's got to be Kevin Patullo also, the offensive coordinator. Because last week's a perfect example. He got 2 pass targets early, and he was not a part of the passing game really after that. And tonight, Kevin, we'll talk more about the weather later, but it's one of many games where the wind is going to probably be a factor.
Cap, when we talk, I see here you say the wind is going to be a factor. I mean, which games in particular are going to really be affected by the wind and conditions today?
Joe, usually we don't look at this stuff typically till December, but out east, the East Coast in particular, it is really windy. The Tampa-Buffalo game, right? 18 to 20 mile-an-hour winds, which is not the worst. But the coaches will tell you, Joe, 2 things that you're concerned about. It's the gusts. 30 to 35 mile-an-hour gusts are projected. It's harder to throw with gusts, and also it's harder to kick field goals. So, Joe, what will happen is, we'll get to the other games in a minute, you might see when they typically would kick a field goal, you might see a team go for it when they normally wouldn't. Now, obviously, if it's 4th and short, you're okay with throwing it. But if it's 4th and 8 at the 30 where you kick it, you might go for it and hope for the best. The Giants game today, 19 to 20 mile-an-hour winds, gusts 34 to 35 miles an hour. Cincy-Pittsburgh game, 16 to 17 miles an hour, 29 to 30 mile-an-hour gusts. The Baltimore-Cleveland game, well, I've been to Cleveland when it's gusty. It's brutal. 22 to 25 mile-an-hour winds, 30 to 35. And then tonight, it's not so much the wind, it's the gusts, 27 to 31 miles an hour. And being at Lincoln Financial Stadium, they have what are called crosswinds. It's unpredictable. So just keep that in eye, whether you're looking at over-under totals or your fantasy players, your quarterbacks, your receivers. Just be realistic with your numbers tonight.
Cap, as the season goes on, we're going to see more and more jobs come open in terms of NFL coaching availabilities. Is this seen as a good class of potential candidates early right now?
It's a great question, Kevin. Not really. So you're looking at Matt Nagy, who I mentioned a couple weeks ago for the Titans job. He'll have other opportunities and other interests. Remember, this guy was a successful head coach. He did make the playoffs when he was the head coach with the Bears. Cliff Kingsbury, he's phenomenal work with Jaden Daniels. He's a good offensive mind, so head coach. Ejiro Evero, a phenomenal defense coordinator. He has turned this defense around, one of the best defenses in the National Football League, very smart guy. Lou Anarumo has rebuilt his career now with the Colts. Jeff Hafley doing a really good job as defense coordinator for the Packers, former head coach at Boston College. And Joe Brady, now this is going to be a controversial name. Their passing game has regressed in recent weeks. He's a guy to watch out for a variety of reasons, but there are a lot of teams that I know that like him. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun one to follow. I think just in terms of, which jobs come available, right, Joe? We talk about Buffalo and things of that nature and, Cincinnati. I mean, you could have some high-profile quarterbacks who all of a sudden will be looking for a brand new head coach. NFL insider Adam Kaplan. Cap, we appreciate it as always. We'll continue to check in throughout the season.
Thank you.
Great stuff there. We do have the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow, right around the corner here. But quickly, Joe, a huge decision for the Dolphins. 4th and goal at the 1. A field goal puts you in a good position to win, but you probably have to go for the touchdown because you would think the worst-case scenario is overtime if you don't get it. What do you think the Dolphins do here before the break quickly?
I think he'll kick the field goal, but
really?
I think you should go for it because at worst you get a 3-and-out, you get the football back at midfield.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting spot here for Miami. We will have all of the updates for you after the break on SportsGrid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numa's pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. We are live right here on SportsGrid. Just a quick update. The Dolphins did not get the 4th and goal. Commanders football. We may have overtime in Spain. But what we have for you right now is the pro football doc, Dr. David Chow. He and the team at SixScore.com have been helping us out all throughout the season. I already, Doc, have been talking about what I saw on Six Score around this Eagles-Lions game tonight. I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to, give out specific scores until Doc is here, but there's a lot of good information for what's going to be a really, really big week of football.
Thank you for that. And you've been a good student and proponent of Six Score Sports City Central. Appreciate you. And on that Detroit game, A.J. Brown, player edge, indexes at plus 47.8% due to the Lions' horrible secondary health and lack of pass rush, and the Eagles' offensive line, the 3 injured players all playing through. And Jalen Hurts indexes at 36.9%. Now, people are going to say Sirianni and the OC caved to A.J. Brown's comments, but the reality is it's a good matchup for him. And now if he doesn't get used today, then there's something seriously wrong in Philadelphia.
I'll tell you this, Doc, and it's incredible insight. Whether he gets used or not, there will be something wrong in A.J. Brown's eyes. And I will tell people this, because we talked last week a little bit about some of those player edges via Six Score, and the Kyron Williams one was burned into my brain. I mean, he was in the end zone early and often in that game against the Niners. It's incredibly valuable information. But speaking of the Niners, Doc, again, I will say this. It's not just like a bit. I get a little nerdy over the Six Score stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, the Niners, they're not losing the sick battle. I couldn't believe my eyes with their matchup today against the Arizona Cardinals, Doc.
Yeah, and that was our headline for our Sports Injury Central newsletter that's free at sixscore.com. And the Cardinals are really banged up. The 49ers are a little bit healthier. Everyone knows that Brock Purdy is back, although he's not 100%. Obviously good enough in Kyle Shanahan's eyes to be the starter over Mac Jones. Not expecting a lot out of Ricky Pearsall. Expecting a lot out of Christian McCaffrey today, and that's based on the Cardinals' defense. And part of it is their stud first-round draft pick, Walter Nolan, who just got back from his calf injury, missed most of the season, is out again this week, as well as a lot of secondary issues for the Cardinals. And don't forget now, wide receiver 1 and 2 out, appendectomy, Marvin Harrison, Zay Jones, Achilles, and they've had running back issues all season. And of course, everyone knows Kyler Murray's on IR and it's Jacoby Brissett. So a lot of issues on both sides of the ball for the Cardinals, making the 49ers amazingly the healthier team this week.
Doc, Davis Mills will get the start. What's the situation today in Tennessee surrounding C.J. Stroud and what he's dealing with right now?
Well, we said last Sunday evening on our podcast that, it's likely Davis Mills again because C.J. Stroud was such an early rule out after his concussion, and obviously he's out again for a second week. And looking ahead, Thursday game, it doesn't bode well for a third straight week. Davis Mills, everyone remembers Davis Mills when he was starting, not so good, but he's been in the same system for a while now. He's a smart kid, and he might have a Cooper Rush type short stint. Cooper Rush with Dallas, this one obviously with the Texans. We'll see what happens. But Tennessee gets healthier. They're the healthier side here. Houston has a great defense. Jeffrey Simmons playing through the hamstring now is going to be a big key for them. Ridley's playing through his hamstring. Tennessee is the healthier side against the Texans today.
Doc, speaking of some quarterback concussion stuff, Jackson Dart out for the New York Giants. And this is one of those situations where it's so great to be able to have you on because we're hearing from the Giants staff that they now want him to change his approach, which I think makes things very interesting in New York, Doc.
Well, we've been saying it for a while. We said it about Anthony Richardson and the Colts. You got to change your running style. The players are too fast, too strong, too big. When you run out of all the time, you get hurt. Running out of necessity makes it okay. Behind me and over here, there's an LT jersey and other things. LaDainian Tomlinson was awesome because when he got the first down, before taking the big hit, he would duck or step out of bounds and live to fight another day. Here's a stat we talked about on the podcast after Jackson Dart got his concussion. He's run the ball 57 times this season in a limited season, not the full season. He's had 3 regular season concussion checks, a 4th one in the preseason, 3 concussion checks, 1 concussion. Josh Allen runs the ball a lot, 59 times for the entire season, 0 concussion checks. Look, you got the first down. You don't need those extra yards where you got hit the ground and fumbled the ball in the red zone last week. You just got to get down, and the Giants see it too. We've been saying it for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting rest of the way for the Giants. Doc, we appreciate it so much. Again, SixScore.com. All of the information and analysis that you need to be an NFL bettor. We'll be right back here on SportsGrid after the break.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF now.
So he's got an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous
great.
pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Back at the right here, and we are headed to overtime. I got to tell you, though, Lisi, if you're looking for blame, well, if you're
Rodriguez?
Tua made a throw to Waddle that would have maybe given them a chance at least at a field goal. He did drop it. There's been some drops in this game, though I can't really absolve Tua full blame in this one. 13-13. We're headed to overtime. Nobody asked for this.
No.
But we're getting it.
Back-to-back overtime games, right? Indy and Atlanta last week? No?
Yeah, you're right.
Back-to-back.
Going out in style.
Going out in style.
International games won't go away. But what we need to do is start to whip things around here, Lisi, because we've got ourselves a really fun slate. We begin our breakdown with Bears-Vikings. Right now, I want to see how many threes are out there fully on this game. It's in between. It's about an even amount of threes and 2.5s. I know for you, whichever side you like, you couldn't care. You can make it 9.5. But what do you make here of J.J. McCarthy versus Caleb Williams?
I lean to the Vikings, but I'm buying in more to the over now. I think first time they played at 51 total points. I do like Addison over his 47.5. Again, I just believe in the defense a little bit more with Minnesota and Flores than I do Chicago, but I'll bail on this game if I start watching it, and J.J. McCarthy is a deer in the headlights. Early on, I'll say it's Minnesota, but I like the over 47.5 more than I like anything else right now.
I am on with you, Jordan Addison, over the receiving yards in this game. That was so mean.
Let's get it.
Oh. All right, so I'll cash out of the bet. I'll bet it.
I do have DJ Moore for an anytime touchdown just because.
Who needs friends? I mean, who needs enemies with friends like that? That is unbelievable there. I lean Chicago in the game. All right, okay. Packers, Giants. I can't believe you. After all that, I thought you'd be excited. I would back Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think we'll get it. I'm happy you backed them.
Oh, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Your true colors.
No. I'm happy that we're on Addison. No, because a lot of people I think will be on Jefferson. They have to get the football to Addison again. I think now from breaking this game down more and more, I think that we blow through the total, but we'll see.
Giants, Packers, Green Bay, laying 7.5 now pretty much everywhere on the road against the G-Men, Joe. I think this is a tough football game to pin down. What are you looking for here?
I do lean to the Packers. I'm not betting this game in any capacity on the side. I just can't see a world where Green Bay doesn't turn over Jameis Winston multiple times in this matchup. I mean, as bad as they played from an offensive perspective against the Eagles, their defense still held Jalen Hurts in check for the most part. We know that Jameis is going to want to showcase and ball out in New York. But outside of Wan'Dale Robinson, and I mean, what do they really have?
Yeah.
They have nothing.
Right.
No stitch of a rushing attack with Tracy. They're not going to be able to run the football. That means multiple long third down situations. What's a sack total? We might get a sack total on Jameis today. I'm just saying I lean to the under because I don't think New York is going to be able to score.
This game will feature in Sell Me Something for me. It's a struggle game, so I'm going to offer up one of the extreme versions, but I think this game could also just go off the rails as well. Like, I am interested in extremes. Like, I'm interested in the Giants being shut out. I am interested in the Giants scoring 30. Like, I think this is just a weird game that we have on our hands, Joe. Yes, I lean Green Bay.
I don't love it. I don't.
This isn't the confidence play of the day. Maybe we can find that in Atlanta and Carolina. I was going to play the over, but I'm going to settle in on that Panthers team total. This team has not scored over 16 points in 4 straight games. This is a quadruple bounce-back spot all in all against a team they've played this year and dominated. The Atlanta defense is banged up in this matchup. I think the Panthers will continue to have success with Dowdle, but I think you'll see, and you're expecting it, a better game from Bryce Young.
Yeah, more consistent. And, again, this is a team, and I like this side more than I like the first two others. I like Carolina plus the 3.5. They beat them once soundly,
Yep.
And I think they'll beat them again. Plus the 3.5, I think, is a gift. And if you looked at Carolina, 5-5 overall, every week is an up and down week, right? Last week they were a public play going up against a gutless team in New Orleans. They lost that game 17-7. Now everybody's flipped to Atlanta. I just don't think Atlanta's consistent offensively. And again, outside of Drake London, Michael Penix can't get the football down the field to any of those guys. And again, they don't utilize Bijan Robinson correctly. It's amazing. I'm sorry, it's amazing, but I can't buy into Raheem Morris in this spot. I just can't. Give me Carolina. Prop-wise, I am on Kyle Pitts to score, and I'm on Bryce Young to go through his total of 167.5. I think he can get to 2.
All right, how about this game between the Chargers and the Jaguars, Joe? This is another sneaky potential bad weather game down there in Jacksonville. L.A. sitting at just a 43.5. As this week has developed, I find myself wondering if Jacksonville can be frisky in this game. I think this is one of the tougher items on the card here today. I did play the Herbert attempts over last week. I didn't get there, but it was close in a rout by the Chargers against a lifeless Pittsburgh team. If I got involved with this game, that's how I would prefer to get involved. Again, I think one of your tougher games on the card today.
It is, and weather's going to play a factor in this potential matchup. But these are games that typically Jacksonville wins. It's Harbaugh, it's Herbert, they're on the road, but these are the games where the Jags step up, especially in Duval County. Now, weather can impact everything. I do like Travis Etienne on the ground. I think they're able to run the football. I like him for an anytime touchdown. And you might even take, receiving and rushing in this matchup. I'm not buying into any of the receivers because of the wind and because of what's out there. So give me Jacksonville outright and give me Etienne to score.
All right, little love for Etienne. I'm not mad at that. Look, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, you know me. I kind of lean Steelers and under, but that's why I'm going to play Aaron Rodgers. Under 22.5 completions, under the first 5 games of the season, had a 3-game over streak where I think we saw Pittsburgh was out of sorts. They don't want to play up tempo. They don't want to be throwing a ton. Bad weather in this football game expected as well. We mentioned it with Kat. There's a lot of bad weather across the league today here. Give me under 22.5 completions for Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to take the dog plus the 5.5. Again, you have the 2 best wide receivers in the game or on the field with Higgins and Chase, and you have a battle-tested quarterback that abused his secondary over the top. Do feel that Chase Brown, he had a big part in the offense last time on the ground, took him for an anytime touchdown, did take Higgins through his total, and I did take a crazy parlay with Chase at 110 just to break out, just in case as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it's plus money.
No, but it's just remarkable to me, like the expectations for Flacco. Like if I just said, "Hey, look at these expectations for a Cincinnati quarterback named Joe," you'd be like, "Oh, he's back." Like it's like Burrow's playing. I mean,
He's going to force feed. If they're going to lose this game, they're losing the game with Flacco trying to force feed both of those guys, aren't they?
But the numbers are high on Brown and Warren in the game too, Joe. Like it's not as if these guys aren't going to be featured at all.
Well, Warren had a big. I mean, they utilized toss sweeps in the Thursday night game. Toss sweep where they had 3 tight ends. Yeah. They had Washington, Freiermuth, and they had I think Janu Smith there. All blocking, for Jaylen Warren out in front.
I got to be honest. Listen, we're a couple of pros here. I totally forgot this football game was on.
Which one?
I totally forgot this.
He threw a pick.
You got to be kidding.
They had the ball first.
So this is going to land 3?
It's probably going to land 3.
Idiots.
Yeah, first play. I mean, just crazy.
What a joke.
Mariota, and the guy they had like double covered, and he throws it right into him. And now the defense is just going to die. All right.
That's bad, man.
It is bad.
That is bad. That is gutless. I mean, the defense showed up. The offense was much better than Miami. And how do you lose this game? Countless opportunities. 2 missed field goals in the game from Washington. Can we get a miss from this Miami guy? I mean, they're going to be so close. They might go in for a touchdown.
It's going to be like a 38-yarder. I mean, come on. Just count it as a loser now. We'll get it back with Addison.
Yeah, we got a little bit of it back with Merritt. Too bad he couldn't get up to 40.
You really it was you that did it. I mean, this Rodriguez should have been the bell cow in the second half. Couldn't even get a touchdown. Like, if he scores, I'm good. You put this Krusky Merritt in.
I'm not.
It's like you bought something at the dollar store. That's this guy Krusky Merritt.
We'll continue to whip it around right here on SportsGrid. It is Pro Football Today.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball is back.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
Oh, is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous
great.
pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the major thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim don't leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back at the right here, and we are final in the matchup between Miami and Washington. 16-13, the Dolphins stay hot, get the win on a walk-off field goal. Lifeless Commanders offense, which really wasn't lifeless at all. It was the better group in the game. That's just a bad loss. It's a tough loss at 2.5. Could have balled to 3, but, you know, it is at that point we're crying over spilt milk. Let's just move on. You haven't wanted anything you want to say in that game quick?
No, it was just gutless effort by Mariota in the end. I mean, you get the ball first. Put your team in a position to at least score points. He throws it into double coverage. Should have never forced the ball in, and they had underneath and over the top. I think of Ertz. And he was thinking, I have no idea, but you know, losing teams do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Nevertheless, we continue to move through our games here today with the Bucs and the Bills. Joe, excited for this one? I played over 46.5. I understand the weather implications. I think these are two quarterbacks who are going to be playing with a fire underneath them here in the matchup. I think the run games could get going for either one of these teams as well. It's kind of an any way you like it matchup here. I'm basically going to thank the weather for getting us a low number between two offenses that I think should come out playing some pretty good ball.
Yeah, I like a lot of dogs today. I like Tampa on the road. I just think that Baker could get into a potential shootout, even though I lean to the under. I could see that game script coming out. But, again, I still think that Tampa Bay is a better than average rush defense. I think they take away James Cook and they force Josh Allen to throw it over the top in bad weather. And, again, he's done a fantastic job, but they still don't have a pure number one, even though Shakira is getting paid the most money. They don't have that go-to guy. And, again, until that develops, I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the road. I just think a lot of people are on Buffalo in this matchup, but give me the Bucs. I think they'll make it a game.
Yeah, all right, so going to roll with Tampa Bay there for Joe. Titans-Texans, I took the 5.5 with Tennessee. We'll see if I end up regretting that. I've been trying not to bet this team, but the spot is undeniable. At home, off a bye. Cam Ward has to play better at some point. Jeffrey Simmons is back. Davis Mills booked as a favorite on the road. They were down 19 in that fourth quarter at home to Jacksonville. I think Tennessee wins this game. I do. I'm going to take the 5.5 and hope.
I can only lay it with Houston just because of that secondary going up against Cam Ward. That's the one thing D'Amico Ryans and that defense have done is they've taken away the chunk plays, and with a rookie quarterback, I think they're going to force him to read coverage. I think it's a big mismatch problem. You have an above average, one of the best secondaries potentially in the AFC going up against a rookie quarterback. I just think it's bad news. Again, I don't love Davis Mills in this offense, but the defense to me is what makes the 5.5 feasible. And again, I think it's an under the 37.5, but it could be all Houston today. Didn't take any props because, again, outside of Nico Collins, can't get married to anybody on the Texans side, but I do believe in the defense more than the Titans.
All right, let's get to one of the big ones, Joe. This game likely going to close 3 here, but the Rams and the Seahawks total 48.5. You know I'm playing my combos with Smith and Jigba and Puka Nacua, 200 plus, 250 plus, 10 a quarter, 5 a quarter, 25 a half. You name it, I'm on it. I love these two guys to have monster games here today in what I think is maybe the real head-to-head matchup here, Nacua versus Smith and Jigba.
Well, yeah, you would think I'm going under the 48.5, but I like L.A. laying the number. Again, this was the team that derailed Sam Darnold and the Vikings last year. I think that from a defensive perspective, they could create mismatches and force turnovers under Darnold. But again, I keep going back to the best rushing attack in this game. Corrin and Williams versus Charbonnet and Walker will ultimately win it. I'm picking Kyren Williams with a breakout day. That seems against the grain considering how good Seattle is in stopping the run, but playing at home, I think Kyren could break out. I like the Rams laying the 3.
All right, going to lay it with L.A. in that spot for Lisi. Cardinals-Niners here. Welcome back, Brock Purdy. The issue for me in this game is the books are pricing Purdy like he's missed no time, couldn't be healthier, couldn't be playing better. Ricky Pearsall back under center as well, or not under center, but back with this team for San Francisco. Jacoby Brissett last week was the first time he lost against the number. Niners are perfect so far this season against the number, off a loss here, Joe. I find myself leaning Arizona. Don't think I'll get to the window on that.
No, I do feel the under 48.5 is in play.
Okay.
First time they played, what was it, 16-15? 18-15, 18-16, it was a dead under, and that was with Kyler. Now, Bam Knight's banged up. Marvin Harrison with appendicitis.
Yeah.
What are you going to get? It's McBride or bust from the, or Michael Wilson in the passing attack. And again, they can't go toe-to-toe with San Francisco. They just cannot afford to fall behind again like they've done.
Yep.
I think it's a similar game plan to what we saw against Dallas. Uglier game, methodical, win on first down, try and move the chains and keep Brock Purdy on the sidelines. Best play for me is under the 48.5. I lean to Arizona because they do match up and they just have an ability to go toe-to-toe with San Francisco no matter how good, bad, or ugly. So give me the points, but I like the under 48.5.
All right, Joe, how about this game between Denver and KC? I know we're going to get into this one quite a bit coming up here, but I love the Broncos. They're my favorite side today, a plus 4.5. I do think they can win this game. Sean Payton is 4-0 against the number since coming to Denver. Off a bye or a mini bye at home here. I think their offense can surprise. I think all the trickery will be on the board, and I still trust this defense against KC.
Yeah, I told you. I think the wrong team is favored, and I know it's the Chiefs, but they've had road woes this year.
Right.
Three losses. Jags, Bills, and week 1 against the Chargers, all on the road or a neutral field. And again, you have a team that has won basically 7 straight games and is undefeated at home in Denver and has won those home games by an average margin of victory of 11.2 points per game. I'm taking a shot. I think they could throw it over the top. I don't think it's the rushing attack with Dobbins. I know that typically that's what they want to do. But give me Bo Nix through his passing total. Give me Evan Ingram over the 24.5, and I'll take a shot. Evan Ingram finally hits pay dirt at plus 260 today.
You are Mr. Evan Ingram. Let's sneak this one in. We'll do Sunday Night Football on the other side with best bets and sell me something. Browns, Ravens. I lean over in this game. I'm going to play Lamar over the 1.5 passing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson does not go multiple games without throwing 2+. Didn't do it last week. He does it today.
I'm going to take the points again. I'm on a lot of dogs. I like the Browns. but give me the under just because of how good that defense performed last week. It wasn't the defense as much as it was the special teams playing at home. I think they could be live. It's windy. It's gusty.
Yeah.
Give me the dog pound, and the defense will travel here at home. I like Quinshon Judkins, 100-plus potentially.
Yeah, you are loaded up here with Judkins. On the other side, Eagles-Lions. Best bets. Sell me something. All before in-game live covers you throughout a great slate of NFL football. That is next, and it is right here, live on SportsGrid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Eagles-Lions, and then we'll get to best bets here, Joe. A 2.5-point line, a total in this one at 46.5. I know you're going to look to get involved with this game. How so?
Yeah, I like the Eagles minus the 2.5. Defense playing into form. I think they can get pressure on Jared Goff. I believe more in this team at home, obviously, but their this is the best team in the NFL right now. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, I think, will make some plays. I like him for an anytime touchdown tonight. And do feel that they utilized Saquon in the receiving game. Got going last week as well. I like Saquon through his number tonight.
I am on the Eagles at minus 2.5. First time I'm backing Philly this year. Shouldn't have to add a disclaimer as the most unbiased man in the history of sports media, but I still will. The Eagles have a massive advantage in terms of health, and I think that allows them to do whatever they really want offensively. And I think defensively, this team trends is one of the 10 best units the rest of the season in football. At home, under a field goal, give me the Birds to do what they need to do against Detroit tonight here and take care of business. Now, Lisi, it's best bet time here.
Can't wait.
I've been alluding to this one here. I'll be honest. You caught me by surprise.
Why?
2 reasons.
Yeah.
I didn't see this game coming from you.
Why is that, though?
I just didn't see it coming. That's all.
Okay.
It's not a negative.
Right.
If you said, hey, guess his game.
Yeah.
I also thought after last week's 1 o'clock pick,
Correct.
you might be like, you know what?
Now, the 1 o'clock
I like getting
games
back to the ones. I like getting back to the ones.
No, we stick and move.
Yeah, all right.
Stick and
Listen,
move.
you're slippery.
We saw the Bucks total last week, and granted, we got it in the final 30 seconds, but we got 2 over the past couple of weeks. We got Jags Raiders that went into overtime with that kick by Cam Little, and then we got the over last week. So let's keep it going 3 in a row. I like the Chiefs and Broncos. Again, it's a primetime matchup, and I've heard this, Denver can't score. Denver can score, especially when they're playing at home. I mean, they put up numbers at home. They didn't put up numbers against Las Vegas, but that was a short week. It was a divisional opponent, and both teams stunk on that Thursday night. But in this matchup, I think, even if Mahomes and that offense push tempo, I think Bo Nix could match. I'm not sold on Kansas City's defense being elite. Again, I think they look to take away the run. That means Bo Nix over the top. Points over the 44.5.
I don't mind it. You know me. I'm all about Denver in this game. I even considered using the Broncos as a best bet, but I figured, you know what? Let me get into that 1 o'clock window for the people. Team totals past couple of weeks here on the show for the best bets. It's been working out. We go again. Under 20. We need 20. Over 19.5. Carolina Panthers team total over at -104. Carolina has been struggling. Yes. That's why we get this low number indoors against a Falcons team they've seen and beat. Maybe they'll take advantage and have an offensive score if need be. But I think Bryce Young plays much better here against Atlanta. This is a weird spot for a Falcons team that's not as healthy and coming back from an overseas overtime game. A heartbreaking loss against the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Panthers, with Dowdle at minimum, find themselves to 14 because I think he could score twice here, Lisi. I think this game actually could get off the rails a little bit. I almost wish I used this for my sell me something highest scoring game. I feel like you would respect that a little bit. I went somewhere else, but this is my best bet over 19.5 Carolina.
I like Carolina in the game. So, again, I think it's live for them to get 23, 24 points in this matchup. Again, Atlanta's defense is not elite, and they're bad against the run. That means Dowdle, but that also means play action for Bryce Young, so we could both eat in this matchup.
Wouldn't be mad at it here, Lisi. Now, sell me something. I feel like, here's the thing. Yours is the main event, so I want to give you additional time. Sell the people on what you've got cooking up.
It's a tight end special, anytime touchdown. So Hawkinson,
yep,
Musgrave,
yep,
Pitts, and Kittle. It's basically 119 to 1, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
It is.
What's wrong with that? I think it's live. Every time I put a bet in, I think it's live. Why can't this hit?
Yeah.
Who leaves me at the window?
Oh, that's a fun one. I used to ask DRS that all the time, and he would always guess it correctly, which was annoying. How about I spin it on you because I don't want to be negative.
Yeah.
Of the four, who do you feel the best about?
The best,
yeah.
I feel about Kittle and Musgrave.
Can I just tell you something? Best bet of the day was you going over 1.5 names. There was no way you were just gonna give me one answer there. All right, here's mine. I don't love it. But I think it's a...
You don't love it?
No, I don't. I don't. I was struggling in the sell me something category this week.
You don't love it?
Lowest scoring team, Giants 5-1. I just think it's the Green Bay defense. They could pitch a shutout. I also, during this very show, said they might give up 30. But I just think I said I want to play extremes.
Okay.
5-1. Any love?
Not really.
Come on.
No, I mean, look, I think they could be shut out. I think Jameis could revert to the human turnover machine.
Yeah.
I mean, and they get nothing. They might get 3. But I think you're also you got to worry about Cleveland.
Oh, I'm worried about everyone. I'm worried about the Giants, much less Cleveland. You're the best. Joe Lisi, Kevin Walsh, best of luck. Pro Football Today.
Rick Pitino asked the game about the worst defensive performance in New York City basketball history. He may have been right, but I will say this. Very, very impressed by the scoring acumen of both teams. And if they can shore up their defenses, both teams will make a run and march. And I mean a deep one.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Another sport like the NBA, which is dealing with its own scandals, so to speak, and its own headlines with the FBI and what else comes, because this is the same FBI team that also brought the NBA scandals to light. So I'd have to imagine they're working on some other stuff as well right now, and the timing is definitely not a coincidence, but definitely some very significant news in the gambling world that now you're not going to be able to bet more than $200 on a specific pitch market.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The 35 cents, though, for yes on Ohio State.
Yeah.
I like that, Donnie. I think there's value in that right now because we only got, 3 weeks left to go. Then we'll have conference championships. Yeah, the more they keep winning, and they will win, the more that will increase, and that's a pretty good return on an investment there with Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East, and they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball is back.
Pro basketball today, only on